Hello, I'm Malcolm Cox, and I've been reading this great book, What's the Truth About Heaven and Hell, by my good friend Douglas Jacoby. I've posted a couple of times already about this. I'm trying to make sure that I remember what I read and learn, and I'm also interested to know what you think about some of the issues raised by the book and the issues of heaven and hell. I'm now on the chapter The Good Place, talking about heaven. And in this chapter, Douglas very helpfully deals with some conceptions, misconceptions and perceptions about heaven, and deals with things like the fact that it won't be boring, that there will be work to do, presumably like there was in Eden. There will be some things to do. It won't be a place of lethargy. It won't be becoming God, although we become like him. But the thing I wanted to ask you today is what you think about the concept of heaven not being flat, as Douglas puts it. The idea that there may be different experiences of the reward depending upon our efforts or our devotion or our wholeheartedness in this world. There is the parable of the workers of the vineyard in Matthew 20, which indicates that our reward is the same. Everybody gets the same pay, and that's a scandal. However, is that really about heaven? Is that about just we're all worthy, or God considers us worthy of his grace no matter whether we're Jew, Gentile, or whatever our background? But is that really about heaven? There are passages in the Bible that seem to indicate that some people's reward will be greater than others, perhaps. In the parable of the talents, the one who earned who increased their talent to 10 in Matthew 25. And Jesus says at the end of that, take the talent from him, that's the one who simply hid it in the ground, and give it to the one who has 10 talents. For to everyone who has, more will be given, and he will have more than enough. But from the one who does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. So this seems to be about eternal reward, doesn't it? Now here's the thing that I can't grasp yet, and perhaps you can help me. On the premise that no one's going to be disappointed when they get to heaven, I don't think any of us, once we're there, surely the most astonishing thing is we're going to find ourselves there. We're not going to be disappointed whether we have a relatively small reward or a relatively large reward. If we're not going to be disappointed, then is there any point in striving for a greater reward, if indeed that is a promise of Scripture? Douglas makes the point, and it's quite fair, that those of us who are involved in things tend to get more out of them. I'm playing soccer for my American cousins, football for the rest of the world. Having played football, when I watch a football match, I think I get more out of it than someone who's never played the game. And in the same sense, perhaps, is it not the case that those of us who have lived more wholeheartedly like Christ, or striven to do so, or made greater sacrifices, perhaps, for Jesus, might therefore enjoy heaven more, get more out of heaven than those who've done less or given less or been less wholehearted? I'm not sure about this whole point. It seems to make sense, but on the other hand, again, if none of us are going to be disappointed, does it make any difference? We're all going to be there as a result of God's grace. I can't quite get my head around it. Perhaps there's more later in the book about this, and we'll see as we go along. But I'd be interested to know what you think about reward in heaven. If you get a chance, drop me a note and let me know what you think. Take care. God bless.